How y'all doing today?
Telephone number.
How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good? Crazy how life work out. I got stories for days. Place of things. Swear that they don't act like the patterns and stereotypes that they are. But everybody that act the same act the same. It's a problem. And there wouldn't be statistics that exist if it wasn't true. What's up, Marco Spinetta? Welcome back to Mod Wars, brother. How you been? How are you? You pretty good. Yeah. Everybody knew it was a text now number. You could change it at any point in time. The question is, why didn't you change it? Who were you holding on to? So they could contact you again. Waiting on them to contact you again. People always, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm just thinking about shit. People got a problem with being called on a bullshit. So, like, you always gonna have a motherfucker that was been lying to themselves their whole entire life. They want to run, want to die, or just call it and avoid it psychologically. They can run, they can dodge. You can call them out of it. It might not even be nothing big. Might not be nothing too big. But they're definitely gonna run. Right? That's what the emotional avoiding is. They're avoiding being honest with themselves, so they're gonna avoid being honest with you. So when you call them out on shit, you're not gonna get nowhere. You're not gonna get nowhere. They're more so worried about saving face for how their image look than them having a genuine, honest emotional connection with you. So you can't really get nowhere with them in a relationship, and because they're never in the actual relationship, they're always in the saving face or image they created. They avoid it. So you're not gonna get an honest answer. You come to them, you confront them, you're not gonna get no honest answer from them. You're gonna get whatever they use to avoid answering that question in themselves. Right? So play? What you mean? Marco? Play what? I'm spitting. My wisdom teeth. You never gonna get no honest answer out of them. And then they get mad when you see their pattern, and then that really make them frustrated because they keep trying to switch the story and then change it up and change their answer. The problem is that all of the answers that they're changing it to is also the pattern because people like them with make those type of answers, right? And they will have those type of answers when they switch the pattern. So you got to watch the pattern as well as what they will switch the pattern to, right? Which is still part of their pattern because only people that's like them gonna make those type of excuses. What's up, Nicholas? Lion Window, stop playing like gangster and shit. Roll ain't yours. Shit. Ain't nobody playing no gangster. What are you talking about? We talking about psychology. What gangster you know that's an egghead about human emotional support and understanding? I understand street knowledge. We talking about book knowledge, but actually, I'm talking about where book knowledge and street knowledge meets. In the middle, it ain't one's better or the other. They only good if they're together. They're really only amazing if they're together. You know what I'm saying? Or the type of amazing that people try to sell to you. Nicholas, welcome to Mob Wars. Congratulations, you have been promoted. You look like the perfect moderator. But yeah. It's crazy because I was talking to this girl a little while ago, and um she was like, I'm talking to her and I'm like, okay, you blocked me, but you ain't block your ex, right? That shit a red flag. So I'm like, you blocked me, but you ain't block your ex. She just still like stuck on her husband and shit, and her ex-husband. That's terrible movement for moving on. You got to move on, right? Motherfucker moved on without you, other people. Um, she was telling me about how, like, damn, I forgot. Hold on, I forgot. Sorry, the ADHD kicking in. Hold on, click the wrong thing. ADHD kicking in. Damn, Wesley Snipes out in the wild broad daylight. I'm dead. What's up, Ghost Rider? What's up, Mark Rose? Share the channel, like and sub. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate you for coming. Welcome to our community. Share to your friends. Thank you. We was recently talking about something besides the damn you got to move on because that motherfucker moved on. That is like sad and depressing. You're too young to have a golden age of your life and or a golden relationship. But how many vampires you took down, sir? What's your favorite place? My favorite place is inside of an intelligent conversation about emotional awareness. It's not really a physical place, it's more so a conversation, right? And basically what I was saying, she was like dodging accountability, and like you could tell by her personality traits that she lied to herself. She lied to herself about her skin color. She lied to herself about how good she looks. She lied to herself about coochie, how it smell, how it look, how it feel, how she looks like put together, and more stuff. You can help out the channel by sub and like in the video has a sub. Thank you, Mark Rose. How many vampires have you took down? It's wild. I won't name no names because I'm not a name dropper, but it is a thing that's going on where people just like, you could tell this person has been lying to herself for years, right? And then like she'll sit there and tell you, I know what I believe in my mind, regardless of what people think, and I'm like, that's not how it works. What you believe in your mind is based off of reality, which other people will lie to you to make you to downplay you, to make you seem like you're not what you told yourself in your mind, but that told yourself in your mind has to be based off of reality. And like you don't know what skin color, you don't know what level you are on the scale of 1 to 10. You know, if you brown skin or not brown skin, it's crazy, right? And your body weight, all this other shit, height, whether you're big or small. I'm like, okay, then whether your relationships broke up because usually you can meet a person that the other person broke up with them, and you can see how much you're selling it for. I'm dead. What's up, big stink? You can see why the other person broke up with them. Usually, when you are dealing with somebody that got broke up with, whether divorced or broken up with in a relationship, as their next partner, you usually can see the patterns why the last partner broke up with them. Do you play Doors in Roblox? I don't even know what that is. you usually can see why they broke up with them. They always dodging. It's like you can't have no real conversation with them. You can't really build on nothing. How the hell are we supposed to be married for the rest of our life when you can't even admit that you wrong for 1 5 second moment? You know how long it take, how many seconds are in the entire lifespan of me being married to you? You can't admit it in 3 5 second differences. It's not even marrying you. It's also, let alone when I have at least the choice to have a child with you. You can't admit when you wrong in a 5 second moment. It's crazy. I don't really think that I lost nothing because it was adding more negatives than it was positives. So me personally, I don't think I lost nothing. I will move on because I've already had propositions from women. I'm actually supposed to meet one today. I'm supposed to meet them earlier in the middle of the promotion that was unnecessary. That was also making me miss work. Bitch had a text 9 number. I think I didn't know she had a text 9 number. So I called her 2 times. Obviously, she switched the number, right? Um, Not a surprise. Called a few times. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let it ring past 3 times because I ain't going to be thirsty. I'm going to call one more time. We got in a heated argument. I'm going to call one more time. We got in a heated argument. I'm going to call one more time. Bitch, I should avoid it. She chose to switch her number, right? And I'm like, that's crazy because I really am settling with you to work it out. I don't have to work it out, right? And it's not really based off of looks or personality. It's really based off of personality because who give a fuck what you look like if you're not a tolerable person? What's up, man? What's up, KDP? I literally told her that not to, I didn't tell her to bring her stuff back, but I didn't suggest it just because I knew this situation was going to happen. So there wasn't no reason to go through that whole struggle. People be so mad when you can see them ahead of time. People be mad at you. What's up, Red Robin? Just stopped by to drop a like and say hello. Have a great and blessed weekend. You too, Red Robin. I appreciate you for coming. But yeah, KDP writer greets you. I sent you a message. It's on you. Okay, I'll check it out, bro. I've been moving, bro. But there's also a reason why I did not say that I wasn't single on here. I already knew where this was going to go. I really was giving grace. I shouldn't have even chased. I was just like, you know what? Let me see how this plays out. Now I got more knowledge in the game. No matter how you think people, you want to give people the benefit of a doubt, the signs that they show you, that's who they are. All right, they gonna show you expressively. They gonna try to act new ways in different areas that you ain't see the other people that were showing the same signs. They gonna give you the same shit, brother. They the same people. What's up, Roxanne? You said, oh yeah, you been busy, yeah. Yeah. They gonna give you the same. They gonna act the same way. They got similar personality traits, bro. It's either gonna be big or it's gonna be small. It's gonna be the same ending. If it look like a hoe, it walk like a hoe. When it talk like a hoe, it's not a duck. It's gonna have hoe banter. It's gonna have hoe reasons for why she should be a hoe and be proud of her being a hoe. It's gonna be she gonna give you reasons reasons for why she should act single while in a relationship is fucking crazy, right? Well, I should be able to do the things that I do when I'm only supposed to be doing when I'm single while I'm in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a grown ass woman. I can do what the fuck I want to with me, in my body, in my box. And I'm like, that's not how it works. This is why you are single now. This is why you were single when I met you. You're not telling me that I'm the only nigga that you did out of the 12, 20, 35, 45, probably 60 bodies you didn't cut. You not telling me I'm the only nigga that you done told this to. That's why when girls try to flirt with me for free stuff, I charge them more. I'm like, stop it. I charge you more than a regular customer. How many niggas you think, how many men, excuse me, how many men you think, I think you done flirted with to get free shit from? And you're not just manipulating me, bro. Like, if you would have just came to me and asked me for a deal, I gave you a cheaper price. But because you trying to manipulate me emotionally, because I think you look good, when money mean more to me than coochie does, I'm gonna charge you what money mean more than coochie does. Right. I'm gonna charge you 160. Right. It's only $40 more. But you know what? Yeah, because you give me a cheap price. Nah, I'm charging you more, brother. Charge you more, baby. Charge you more. Just simply because you try to manipulate me. If you would have just asked me, I would have been like, okay, I could look up. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody chasing after your little stanky box. What's up? Honestly, no offense to anyone, but that can go for either gender. Yeah, it's okay. I be expecting your reply. All I need is your idea, and we good to go. Katie. Okay, yeah, give me a second, bro. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm sorry. For real, how many ninjas? That's the way ninjas are. Facts. How many ninjas? How many ninjas? It's crazy. How many have you done this for? Bring them up, everything. Probably to move in the house and some more shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't here single and you around my age. Like, bro, I'm 31. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't here single around my age. You got multiple exes and you ain't did this before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to announce how many bodies I got. It don't matter. I done been around the block a few times. It's like 4 types of women, just like it's like 4 types of men. They all got the same excuses for the same things that they do that are similar, that they do, everybody does. And they always got their own versions, and it's always specifically to their characteristic types. It's always specifically to the type of person they are. They got their own excuses. Like, you be like, you ask the bitch if she a hoe, and she be like, well, I can do whatever I want to with my body because it's my coochie. Like, that's not how it works. You don't tell that to a nigga that you were in a relationship with. What are you talking about? Like, come on. To a nigga that was random on the street, that y'all not really together, but the guy that you supposed to be asking to marry, or you're asking him to marry you in the future, like, what do you think? Like, there's hoes move like hoes, right? Just like pimps move like pimps, right? Niggas that ain't shit move like niggas that ain't shit. Excuse my tongue. But if it looked like a duck, it walked like a duck, and it talked like a duck, it's not a moose. You see what I'm saying? It's like how you got a personality trait, like you be outgoing, out and partying, like you got a personality. Your arguments in the middle of shit that you should not be doing when it comes to a relationship. When you're with somebody, you got the same arguments. Even when you are angry at a person, you got the same exact result, the same exact insults. Oh, you this, you dick little when you this, that, and third. You dick little when you ugly and I look better than you. And I'm like, what? There's a reason guys stop caring, right? Like, guys are just like, we're gonna go single. Girls throw insults at them and that shit brush off, and guys like just go and do what they want to do as men, right? You gonna say that? You say that about every. You told me that about your last 3 exes that you were with before you met me. So it's like, Your last 3, your last 4, your last 5, you said all of the same shit. You told me about your situations and you had the same arguments and the same insults for every single individual guy that now you're saying about me. It's like you are not an independent thinker. You just you ramble at your mouth. You don't really think about what's coming out of your mouth, and you don't even actually apply what's coming out of your mouth to reality. You're just saying shit just to say shit, which is why most guys are like, well, we don't really care about your insults no more. Right. They're just like, well, you don't care. You gonna say that about me and the 5 niggas after me, after you like 40, 50, 60 years old, still married, still not married, single, and probably got a couple babies. Right. And when you die on your deathbed, you still gonna be saying the same shit at 66. Niggas ain't shit. And bitch, you was the only one that won't shit the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Can't be honest with yourself. You get him a hole, you lose him a hole. Like for example, you as a dude should have expectations for a woman, and a woman should have expectations for a man, not like crazy high expectations, but expectations. Yeah, the crazy thing is about that. That is true. Like that is true. That's very true. But the problem with that, right, is that you got hoes being raised by hoes, being raised by hoes, and they got sisters as hoes, aunts as hoes, mamas as hoes, grandmamas as hoes. I watched this girl through generations, one of my exes. I watched her through generations. I didn't find out till after I broke up with my ex. Her great grandmama was a trick. It had groomed her grandmama into being the trick. Grandma groomed her mama into being the trick, and mama groomed her into being the trick. It's crazy. See, I didn't know she was a trick at first though. She would let me hit it for free. You see what I'm saying? Then I found out later because she was like a groom trick, which is terrible. But she won't like standing on the corner and selling. She was looking for like regular genuine relationships. So she acted like that, right? And I don't know drugs, nothing. So she acted like somebody that of her age should be looking for, somebody that would genuinely attach themselves to me. She's treated like I've been in this game for my entire life. I met her when she was 18. She was only like terrible. I ain't even just I met her when she was 18. Her mom they had been tricking her out since she was like underage and shit. You know what I'm saying? And which is crazy because that's how she came about in life. Cause her grandma tricked her out, type shit, and her mom out, and that's how she was born, right? So it's like, what's up, Foxy Roxy? Yep, yes, it be hoes, old hoes raising new hoes, and then everybody wondering why ain't nobody get married. Girls hold. I'm not trying to sound sexist or nothing, but girls hold the key to sex. Okay, this is not a thing. I'm not gonna say I agree with everybody that ever lived that said something about it and then started to add to it. But I'm gonna tell you, most guys do think the same, right? When it comes to a partner that they want to marry, right? Most guys, they're similar, right? I want you to be loyal. I want you to, even if we break up, I don't want you to cheat on me with nobody, even if it could be a month. There are women that have went 2 years because their ain't shit boyfriend was in prison, didn't cheat on them with nobody, right? No dick, nothing, Nathan, and they waited for that man to get out, right? Which we know, girls, they say that, but we know they was cheating. The nigga in the jail know that they was cheating. Who don't know that? But besides that, that's what they like to uphold. Nowadays, a bitch be like 3-4 days later, she be like, oh yeah, we just broke up after a year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm outside, right? And it's like that outside moment show a nigga why he shouldn't have been with you for that year, or that 2 or that 3 years in the first place. Because if you were really all into the relationship, why the fuck did it take such a short time for you to break the bond of trust in that relationship. So nigga go like a bitch be like, oh yeah, I got you back for that. And a nigga be like, you just showed me what you were. I shouldn't have spent the time that I spent with you for you to try to call yourself getting back at me for us having an argument, right? How you go fuck a whole nother person as a get back for us having an argument of you probably most likely it would literally probably just develop into an argument. I'm spitting because my wisdom teeth growing in. It most likely only developed into an argument because you were having a lack of self accountability. I called you out of your shit and you ain't want to admit that it was wrong. So now we in this big ass argument because you can't be honest with yourself, and you're on top of you not being honest with yourself. Your conclusion is go to fuck another person. Like this, that is even that's furthering the you not being honest with yourself. Right? What's up, Trey? Um. Also, it can come from both sides. The men and the women in my family suck ass. Yeah, all people suck ass. Foxy. Yeah, it's crazy because it's like if you was really all in, then you should be fucked up from our breakup. Why the fuck are you bouncing on the next nigga dick? It's crazy. 3 days later, that is diabolical. Right? That is absolutely 3 days. You ain't even give yourself time to heal. You about to go fuck that other man up with what you tried to fuck me up with, which is why we're not together. You got shit that you ain't healed from your previous relationships that you were projecting on me, and I had a problem when I called you out on them. I called you out on them. And then you show all kinds of clear signs of you not wanting to fix them. And also the reason why you spent the last 5-10 years of not fixing them now to the point where I met you when you were single. You done bounced through multiple niggas. These guys are leaving you. You telling yourself you leaving them. You not leaving them. They already checked out on your ass and they giving you signs to leave. And then you telling yourself, I left on my own accord. I'm like, you got multiple levels to delusion, right? I left on my own accord. If put it this way, if a guy or a girl breaks up with you, if they told you a specific thing and they said, look, if I say this, that means I want nothing to do with you. And then they call you on the phone and they tell you, they say what they said, if I ever say this to you, this means I want nothing to do with you anymore. They call you on the phone and tell you that, right? Say you living with them or some shit. You leaving after they told you that is not you leaving on your own accord. They broke up with you. You have no choice but to leave, right? So it's like they basically said, I don't want you in my space anymore, and you got the fuck out of their space. This is not you doing it on your own accord, right? So it's not you on your own accord. This nigga already told you he was closing the door on your ass, and you like, nigga, I got to have somewhere to go. So you left, right? Found a place to go and left. That's not you breaking up with them. That is that person breaking up with you. You got broke up with. You just swear all you decided was your exit was based off of your own decision. But it's like your exit would have still been your exit if the nigga would have got back. Like, is what your form of transportation out of there was what? Like, is your form of transportation out of there after the nigga told you he didn't want to be with you no more? Was you leaving on your own accord? And won't you leaving on your own accord? He said he don't want you to stay. You ain't have no choice but to leave. And if he didn't want you to stay, he probably not making sure you leave on his accord. So you got to leave on your own accord. There's no other way. And you got to find a way and somewhere to go, right? And like, I be hating when I be running into people who like, yeah, I broke up with that person. And it was like, okay, I saw them closing the door on you before you broke up with them. Like, yeah, it was my choice. I'm like, no, the fuck it wasn't. They already closed the door on you. They told you the signs. They gave you a time frame. They gave you a date. Maybe they didn't. They were just like, bro, I want you out, or girl, I want you out in a certain amount of time. Right? Not even a specific time. It's just like whatever it is, the context that I'm saying, I want you immediately out now. And then the person leave and like, yeah, because I called Uber and I had somebody come pick me up I did it on my own accord. I'm like, bitch, that's all you could do. Because if you didn't, when they decided to get home and call the cops on your ass would have been out anyways. You either been where the fuck you went to or in prison. So it's like, are you a conspiracy theorist? I'm not. Maroc. I hear that. Yeah, bro, how you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good, dog. Welcome back, bro. AJ, what's up, Tay Bun Bun? Welcome back. But yeah, it's like you already got broke up with, right? So it's like you run around telling your friends and family and shit. Yeah, I left on my own accord. How you leave on your own accord when the motherfucker told you to get the fuck out, basically? The only own accord is your ass don't belong there and you got to get the fuck out. So it's like he won't or she won't go and drive you out that bitch. So whatever the fuck you did to get out of it, excuse my tongue, he won't go drive you out of it. So whatever you did to get out of there, I guess you technically can say it's of your own accord, of you traveling, but not of your own accord of the relationship breaking up. So it's good to hear. Yeah, thank you, Dowie. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just rambling, y'all. But this is just a bunch of stuff that I be seeing, right? It's just like it's so many patterns. Like people always swear that they different, and then they do act, walk, talk, wear the same makeup, the same girdles, the same waist beads, same nails, same lashes. They wear the same muscle shirt. They wear the same fucking shoes. They wear the same hairdos, the hairstyles, and they be like, "I'm different," and I'm like, the only thing that I hear about you that's different is you screaming that you're different. Other than that, 75% of who you portray yourself as, which you are proud to portray yourself as, is the same. Everybody do this shit. And you wouldn't let another motherfucker tell you that you shouldn't be doing it. Like this is literally 75% of who you portray yourself as. And then if it looked like a duck, it walked like a duck, and it talked like a duck, I'm not going to say that it's a moose. I'm not going to give it the benefit of a doubt that it's a moose. And I'm not going to believe that it's a moose because it's a whole duck standing in front of me, right? So it's what's up, Michael Jackson shoes? What's up? Cool hair, bro. Thank you. What's up, Afiz? Who's in? What are you doing, boss? I'm chilling, bro. This guy's a sexual deviant. It's crazy work. What's up, Van Plecia? What's up, Foxy Roxy? Yes, sir. The only thing I'm a hoe for is food. I'm dead. Rice. Bro, single. Sucks being in a relationship sucks. What do you do, bro? Bro, being single sucks. What's up, Anas? Anasa? Bro, being single don't really suck. For real. It don't. So, like, it depends on what relationship you talk about. Like, versus a male or a female. If you're male, being single doesn't really suck. If you're a female, if you're male, being single, not being biased, but it does suck. Because everybody ain't gonna see you as nothing but your sexual value. They gonna think that you cute. They gonna be all in your inbox. They gonna be all in this what's called. There's niggas that will literally play in your face for 20 years, not liking you or loving you the entire time. They will put a ring on your finger, put babies inside of you, just to tell you how he felt that he was getting vendetta back for the first time you curved his ass 20 years ago, right? You're like, I just spun the block because you curved me the first time. And I did all like niggas ain't shit, but the problem is women and men, there ain't shit to different degrees. Guys are like permanent solution ain't shit. Like, bitch, you stuck with me forever. Girls are like break your windows out your car, stuff that I can replace, stab your tires out, stuff that also can be replaced for a fraction of a price. Like, maybe burn your house down. You probably got insurance. That shit be built by the next 3 months, right? Guys are like, I want permanent vendetta. Like, shit that you can't walk out of because, bitch, you dance around everything. So, in the moment of you not having self-accountability, you still can't say that we don't have a child together, right? You still got to face the fact that this motherfucker exists. And we stuck to each other permanently for life, right? That's the type of ways that guys go. It's like, don't matter how much you like me, bitch, you let me bring a baby out of you, right? Bring my DNA out of you. I don't have kids myself. It's just I've been around the block. I like relationship better. Yeah, what's up, Vis Whimper? It does suck at times because you're not flopping every bed. Yeah, bro. As a man, being single is literally like being dead, but without the advantages of being dead. Now, not all women just saying, yeah, yeah. The problem is the market sucks because niggas know what's going on now is that girls don't pay attention to guys. They don't want to hear us, right? Um, the problem with that is that guys have like 2-3 thousand years worth of knowledge of females. So it's like you got this group of like women who swear they can change the meaning of what it means to be a wife nowadays. The problem is guys slightly have changed the narrative based off of the last 3-4 thousand. Guys have been paying attention to other guys telling them how women work. For the last like 150 years, women have been swearing that they don't need a man or his opinion. So we got a bunch of women running around teaching women how to keep a man that they don't know how to keep themselves because they didn't want to listen to the men when they told them how to keep them, and it's why a lot of them are single now, right? So it's a, and then they raise, like, you don't go to a chef to teach you how to be a mechanic. Like, that's not how it works, right? So like I got people, they'd be like, I used to be married, I know exactly what a relationship means and how you're supposed to be in a relationship. But it's like, if that was true, then you wouldn't used to be married. Your ass would still be married, motherfucker. You got a failed relationship, which shows you don't know how to keep a relationship, nigga. You don't got all of the answers. Like, stop it. You literally didn't have the you definitely don't got the answers for me because you ain't have the answers for you. So it's like, you ain't had the answers for your own marriage, bruh. Like, stop. And it's crazy because you could go through things and you can learn from mistakes, right? But it's crazy when I seen you in the marriage before it failed. I met you. Apparently, a couple of the females that I met, they said they were married for longer than the time period. And when I was talking to them, they were saying they were not married. So it's like, I seen you in the time period and when you were married, and we were talking, and I was already like, you're not a lifetime partner. And then after that, your actual lifetime partner divorces you. So it's like, I wasn't even married to you. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's this thing that I be saying. It's like, you said, most other motherfuckers I dated ain't shit. So I'd rather be single right now and do some self-reflecting and figure out what the fuck I want. Facts. Most people aren't shit in general because people suffer from what's called the I complex. If they can't put me, my, I, or mine in the sentence, they generally do not care. Which means if it's not my people, if it's not my friends, if it's not my mama, if it's not my loved one, if I don't own it, if it isn't something that belongs to me when it comes to what I consider important in my life, if it's not mine, if my people ain't the ones suffering from it, right? They generally don't care. It's called the I complex. They can't put me, my, I, or mine in the sentence. They generally don't care. They will act like they care. They will give you the perfect customer service. They do not give a shit about your life at all. All most people care about is what they can get out of the situation, which makes most people ain't shit, right? Most people are not team players, which is why most people are not successful, right? If you look at all of the people that are successful, they tell you, I didn't do it on my own. They tell you, I got a team of people that I appreciate, that helped me get to the million, the thousands, then help me get to the millions, then help me get to the 100 millions, then help me get to the billions, help me get to the trillions. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's literally a team player thing, and most relationships fall because of this, right? People only give a shit about themselves. So being in a relationship doesn't make sense. There's only a matter of time. If you're this kind of person, there's only a matter of time your relationship is going to exist. It's going to work. So you're going to be married and that shit going to get divorced, right? It's always a red flag when you meet a divorcee. I'm not going to lie to you, right? This shit hurt people feelings. What's up, Almighty Flacco? You built like Godzilla. I'm dead. What's up, Dana? Said a lot of men these days want you to take care of the kids and stay home. Yeah, you're right on that one, Jay. Thank you, Foxy. Yeah, I don't know who like that. I don't know no modern man that's like you got to stay home and take care of the kids. Like guys, I feel like it's like guys still trying to be traditional in the non-traditional world. Girls are hoes now, right? You got OnlyFans. Any bitch, your bitch at the moment of a drop of a dime could make millions of dollars online just from putting her coochie all across several platforms, right? This is definitely not the age to be like, and then even with like taxes and like prices rising and shit, this is literally a 50-50 culture. Me, myself, I don't go 50-50, but most people make under $50,000 a year, right? I don't make under $50,000 a year, but most people do. So the what's up, Land Amanda? Welcome back, bro. My problem is, what the fuck are women straight? Have they seen the girls around? My problem is, what the fuck are women straight? Have they seen the girls around? The girls, right? That's what I'm saying. Cause it's like there's a lot of them, but they really just the loudmouth ones, and they be doing all of this shit, this extra shit that men don't want, and they'll go and not listen to the man that they were with or men they were with, which is the reason why they are bouncing through situations. One guy tells them so much to the point where he'll call them out to the point where they'll run, right? They don't fix nothing, and they carry that to the next. The same shit. You got the same problem. I don't even know the last guy, and I'm telling you the exact same things, and you sit here in my face telling me that I'm telling you what your ex-boyfriend said, and you still don't think you the problem. And then it's like, okay, you gonna run away from me. You gonna go to the next nigga, he gonna say the same thing. And then one day they wake up 60 years old single, wondering why they got a bunch of kids and a bunch of non-niggas that stayed, right? And it's like, and then you meet them at 60, because I deal in customer service. You meet them at 60 and they're the same exact. You like, it's like when you dealing with people that are older than you, it's like you can see the flashback of why they don't have certain things because of the way they interact with you, right? People don't say this because it's an unspoken thing that nobody talks about. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but you usually can see why people's lives fail based off of their personality traits, right? Like nobody says it, but it's like, I know I'm not gonna be living off government assistance when I'm fucking 65, bro. You know, nigga sitting here telling me how to take advantage of all of the EBT and shit, and I'm like, this is how you get all of the benefits. I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to make sure I got 30 years ahead of my life, 35 years ahead of my life before I get to your age. I'm trying to make sure in all of those 35 years I am never eligible for it. What are you talking about? Like this is, at this point I'm fully able and bodied. I got to be a bum, right? So it's a it's a I don't know. It's there's a lot of unspoken things out there. All right, that people don't talk about, but I plan on having these conversations in the future. You know, I already said I was gonna have like a council when I finally go like monetize and all this other stuff. We gonna have the nights of the round table. We gonna talk about this shit, because the more we don't talk about it, the more it does not get healed, and the more it doesn't get healed, the more damage it causes for the next generations. There are more people that are going without more answers, every generation that goes by. At first, it was only one answer that they were missing. Somebody ain't even want to be honest with themselves for that one answer. And because of that, it affected them to not have three other answers. Now they not teaching those three other answers to their child. And guess what the child's missing? They not just missing that one answer. They're missing that one plus that three answers not being raised with. Right. And then that child goes on, and because they watch their parent do that with that one answer, and then those three other answers, those four answers, they do the same thing. They're like, this is one answer to me. I could just leave it as a little white lie, and I ain't got to say nothing about it, but it's going to make me avoid three other answers that I should have for my child. And then now we up to 8 answers, right? So it's like 8 answers, 8 unanswered questions, right? And then they just stockpiles and stockpiles. It goes 4, 8, 12, 16, 32. Now we got 24 generations later, and they missing 135 regular answer, common sense answers about life. And unfortunately true. Yeah, Foxy. Bro, every day I realized scup culture was onto something. Just hit and leave. It ain't even worth the hitting, bro. Because if you hit, you still putting your life at jeopardy. It ain't even worth the hitting, bro. Like, coochie is coochie. Like, I done had girls. I done had too many girls, bro. I got more bodies than I would like. It ain't even about the coochie, bro. Like, I done had girls where they tried to finesse me with it to get some free services. I'm gonna do that. I had this girl, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna throw it back. She walked in my house. She walked up to the door thinking she was gonna get, she owed me $175, right? Just changed her brakes and her rotors. I'm like, 175, and she was like, yeah, well, can I come in the house? She went and bought a bottle and all that shit. And she walked in the house. I charged her ass at the door. She stepped foot in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna charge you. Now, whatever the fuck you want to give me after that, that's all you. But I need my bread. I ain't gonna lie to you, because you really don't got to be here. You ain't got to be at my house. You ain't got to be in front of me. You ain't got to be willing to go in my house. And you definitely don't got to be in my bed. Because coochie don't pay the bills. It do not pay for my retirement. It does not put money in my Roth IRA accounts. It does not pay for my life insurance policies that I flip. It does not pay for... It is not creating me generational wealth. It is not creating generational wealth for my children. It's not putting money or food in my mouth or in my children's mouth or in my nephews or in my nieces or in my mom's, right? So it's like, it really is not important other than if you, I don't have kids, right? So it's like, it's not really important other than if you are trying to procreate. If you're not trying to procreate, I'm waiting until I'm 35. I'm 31 now. If you're not trying to procreate, it's not really important, right? It don't get me closer to God. It don't get me closer to salvation. It is not going to save me. It does not save me from my sins. It literally has no value other than I'm thirsty for it, right? And if I'm thirsty for it, that means there's a bunch of other niggas that's thirsty for it. The problem about it is that on the market, it is easily accessible. That's why there are so many guys that are thirsty for it that get it, right? A diamond is valuable because it is less accessible on the market, but there's coochie everywhere, right? So it's like, there's not 1,000 diamonds, a million, billion, 20 billion, or even just 4 billion diamonds on the market that you could just buy at any time. The value of them comes from the factor that they're from the fact of scarcity, but there's so many hoes out there. And then it's like, why would I spend a wine and a dime? And like, I sound so single, y'all. I'm sorry, but I am single, right? So it's like, I sound so single, right? I move different ways when I'm with somebody, and when I'm single, it's two different people, right? You're supposed to have a code. You're supposed to be able to code switch, because the way I carry myself when I'm with somebody is supposed to be completely different than the way I carry myself when I'm not with somebody, right? So, which is that's a self-respect thing, right? It ain't got to do with, oh, I got to see this person, this special. This is, no, you should be able to carry yourself with a certain type of etiquette based off of self-respect. There are certain things, like if I'm in a relationship, there never should be a girl other than a girl that's lying, that says that I slept with her and can stand in my partner's face, that I see as being somebody, potentially being somebody that I see on being in the future of my life, right? My entire future of my life, right? There's never a point in time where a guy or a woman should be able to say that. Oh, I slept with them while y'all were together. Like, that shit is an absolute slap in the face, and it's not a surprise if the person, that male or female, walks away from you after you were told that, right? So it's like, if it's gonna be anything, it should definitely not be a true thing, right? Once it becomes a true thing, you usually supposed to completely excommunicate yourself from that person, because it take a lot of effort to sleep around on somebody. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of effort, and it ain't even effort. It's the amount of level of lack of respect that you have for me, to the point where you think I ain't valuable enough for you to sleep around on me, right? So like, that level of lack of respect is non-relationship category material. I strongly agree. I know what you're saying. Thank you. Fortunately, people have the nerve. Yes, you're lucky, bro. I can't get more than 2 a month. Yeah. Look. Yeah, that level of lack of respect, and it's crazy because it's usually because they don't respect themselves. You find yourself in a loop of arguing against them. It's like, why don't you respect yourself? And it's like, you won't raise that way. They won't raise that way. They won't raise in a household like that. The problem with that is that as an adult, is your responsibility after you reach a certain age, and like, this is just you, and I got to move on, right? So like, I can forgive you from a distance, but I understand that you are never going to change. This is your nature, and it's crazy because you have your pattern childhood nature, and then once you get past a certain age, when you're grown, you decide what your grown pattern nature is. We all go through this phase, right, where we want to try this, we want to try that, and then you're like, you know what, I'm stuck to this, I'm stuck to this religion, I'm stuck to this belief system. This is who I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. All right, these people are well beyond these ages where they have decided this, and it's like, this is just you, right? You already had your choice outside of changing from what you were when you were raised to be that way, and then you still chose it, right? Like, that's, ooh, it's so much that goes into this. So much that go into this shit. Excuse my tongue. It's so much that go into it. So much. I love talking about it, yo. I study psychology. I study sociology. I study Christianity, religion, the Bible, scientific facts, science, archaeology. I go through all of the things. It's all 360. Everybody doing the same shit. They're just trying to wrap it in the same bowl and then swear it's not the same shit. Swear it don't got the same smell. Everybody doing the same shit, trying to wrap it in a different bowl, swearing it ain't got the same smell. Like, doodoo is doodoo. Like, it's just like, what you mean? Like, you ain't shit just like they ain't shit. People need to be upfront about who they are, what they want, etc. About who they are, what they want, etc. People don't do that. Because, like I said, people, they worry about the eye complex. They only worry to get their own benefit. They ain't worried about telling the truth to you, because the truth don't benefit them. They ain't worried about being honest with you. The truth don't benefit you. I literally had to trick somebody with their own type of lie in order to get them to be honest with me, right? About the situation that was going on. It's a whole crazy thing. And then they were mad at me for tricking them the same way I watched them trick other people with the same kind of lie that didn't know it was a lie, and they ran with that shit. And for like the last 6 months, those people still believe that the lie that they told them is true. Like a whole narrative about lifestyle and where they grew up and fucking zodiac signs. I didn't even know people still believe in zodiac signs, but all kinds of shit, right? Like, it's crazy. It's wild. You can't make it up. You can't. One thing you can't do is you can't make it up. People need to be honest in front. One thing you can't do is you can't make it up. It's a lot of people like them then, and it's crazy because it's like you try to reconcile with them as the person they are. You like the only problem here is you. You ain't even got to say that. It's just literally the only problem is you. You escalated it. You made it worse than it was. You were the person who was talking shit about your partner. Literally, the only person that needs a forgiveness is you in this situation, and you got the nerve to try to escalate it like you the one that's up. Like, fuck are you talking about, right? Like you a person that's up. It's crazy. You the person that's up. It's crazy. When the only person that needs the forgiveness is you. Nobody else in the situation had any. That sucks. Is be honest. I know I am. Yeah, nobody else in the situation had any involvement with what was the problem outcome of the situation. What's up, Jack? Whip it up, boss. Something. Um, Nobody else had the issue. It literally was you, and then everybody just called you out on your shit, and then you escalated to something. Oh, you can't talk to nobody. I'm sure you can't, because you was a fucking liar, right? You don't want to talk to nobody because you never plan on telling the truth. So it's like God Himself says that people don't hide from God because they know who God is, right? They'll hide from God because they know what light is and they choose to go in the better direction. I mean, they hide from the light because they love darkness, right? So everybody's running from God. It ain't because It's not because, oh, I knew a better situation. It's like, no, you are convincing yourself that there's a better situation. And it's crazy because the way God describes it, He says that people know that they're liars, right? Which is crazy because it's like, that ain't even really deep, because when you think about it, when you make something in your head, make something up in your head, when somebody asks you a question, you know you made it up. So it's like, it ain't even really deep. It's just deep because people willing to save face and they not willing to admit that. But like, who doesn't do that, right? So it's like, who don't do that? Like, just even listening to it is like, of course that's something a human being would do by nature, right? At some point in time, somebody been asked a question that they didn't have an answer to. They was trying to save face, so they chose to make up some knowledge on that spot. It sounded good to them, so they chose to keep making it up to other people with the same question, right? And it's like 20 years later, after you made that shit up on the spot, 20 years before, don't make it no less of a lie. You know it was a lie when you made it. So it's like, it's a you ain't got to convince me that you lying. You know yourself that you lying, right? So it's a right. Make it make sense. Facts. It's like, you ain't got to convince me that you lying. You yourself, you know you made it up. I just recognize that it looked like you made it up. That's all. I didn't make up nothing. Yes, you did, bruh. That's why you giving all the little signs that you made it up. Where's the evidence? You know you ain't did no real research behind this shit. You regurgitated to somebody that gave you an argument 20 years ago, and it was like, and you blurted something out your mouth, and you heard yourself saying it, and you was like, ooh, that sounds like that makes sense. And then you practice it over the next 3 people that asked the same question. Now you're here 20 years later, sad as fuck, right? You still believe in the same lie that you know you made up 20 years ago. And it's wild. Like, that shit wild. People know that they lying, right? Like how God said, He's like, um, He said that people know that they lying. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but um, dang, I forgot the verse. I just quoted it. I forgot the verse. I just quoted it. Um, I just quoted the shit. Excuse my tongue. I just quoted it. I forgot what it was. What's up, Xavier? Welcome back. Clock it. Facts. You like, you know you lying. Or people hide from the light. People hide from the light. I'll call you back. People hide from the light, not because they know the light. It's just they love darkness. And then, like, when you read through the rest of scripture, They love darkness more than they love the light. That's why they hide from the light. Like a prisoner, not a prisoner, a, a criminal doesn't walk up to a police officer and say, "Hey, you don't know that I'm being a criminal, but I'm a criminal. Arrest me, send me to prison." Like, who does that, right? So, like, God is the light, and the darkness is afraid of the light. The darkness does not approach the light for fear that its evil deeds may be exposed. So it's like, I'm a criminal. I'm not going to the police because the police might find out that I'm a criminal, and then my ass will be exposed, and then I got to suffer the consequences of it, right? So, like, God explains that people don't come to him because he's the light, and people love darkness because in darkness you might not be able to see anything. When I'm standing in front of you, your eyeballs not be able to be good enough to see what's going on with my body when I'm standing in front of you. But turn on the lights, and then you find out this nigga or this bitch got herpes all over him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a it's like, well, you still going to accept me like this? Hell no. That's why they got to hide in the darkness, right? No, you wouldn't accept them like that. That's why they got to hide in the darkness, which is also why they won't be honest with you, Jay. You got to do the sea lion dance. Oh, it said what is done in the dark will come to the light eventually. Yeah, they um they not gone. They not they not willing to be honest with you because they're not willing to be honest with themselves. That's why they chasing after all of the materials that they chase after. They need to lie to themselves. They're not secure inside of themselves, so they need something outside of themselves to feel good about what is actually going on with them, right? Like, this a whole psychological thing. Like, it's crazy, like crazy. Crazy, bro. Like, crazy. Hold on. Work calling me. Be right back. Okay, Xavier. Sorry, I'm venting to y'all, bro. This time, don't even take this. It's a lot of dating knowledge. Okay, I'm gonna write books. It's a lot of stuff. All right, it's God, dating, sociology, psychology, which Christians invented modern science. So, like, sociology and psychology really is a byproduct. And understanding the minds that God already created, right? Which is crazy because the Bible itself teaches you psychology, right? The Bible itself, like, if you read the Bible for itself, it tells you you're not supposed to judge them. You're supposed to, like, if you see how God judges people, he always judges them by the spirit that is behind them. He calls out the spirits that's behind them and is like, look, this is why I'm doing this, because you say you set your heart as God. You say you are the only God. There is no one else like me. So I'm going to show you there is only one me, right? It is flood, plagues, destroy entire kingdoms, send an entire pagan nation to destroy an entire kingdom, right? And it's like, it really ain't even really like God is that bad in these situations. It's just like, he's like, hey, you said you were me. Why do I let all of these things go on? So you chose not to believe in me. You chose the better option is to swear you are me, but you're still letting the same things go on. Oh, you're not? Okay, so let's do these same things that are going on you and see if you're allowing them to happen. Oh wait, you don't have the power to stop them? That is crazy, right? What's up, Lightning McQueen? That's crazy. Because you just said you were me and I have the power to stop them. And you say you didn't believe in me because I allowed them to happen. But not only so you decided to claim you were me, not only do you allow them to happen to other people that are not you, you ain't even really got no choice but to allow them to happen to you, because you don't really have any power to stop it from happening. So it's like you say, I don't believe in you, I don't believe in God because he allows all of these things, but then you claim yourself to be God, and it's like you don't stop none of them either. So it's like, what is claiming you to be, how is claiming you God better than believing in me that you swear don't stop them, when the blame just falls on you because now you're claiming that you're me and the stuff is still going on, and you don't stop them either, right? So stop it either. What's up, Chicken Joe? How you doing today, good sir? What's up, Jane? Yep. Yeah, it's like you don't stop it either. So it's like, what do you mean? How is a better fix is you must be God because I don't stop evil? Nigga, you don't either. You are like half of the evil that goes on. So it's like, what do you mean? The better option is the same people that you saying, I don't stop the evil of, you know, that just physically harming them is not a thing. You can emotionally, not the only thing, you can emotionally damage people just from having a conversation with them, right? That is evil also. So it's you being rude to somebody that didn't deserve it, you were evil right there, right? And it's like, oh, I'm God, therefore I can be. No, God is just. There's a difference between you thinking that you're justified and you actually being justified. It's two different things. Two completely different things. But I do have to go. There's a lot of stuff, bro. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just rambling and rambling. It is so much shit going on in the world and don't nobody listen. And I'm like, bro, I've been born again 7 years. I had a literal encounter with the living God. I know that he's real, right? I used to feel dead inside. I feel alive, right? I didn't know for first you were dead. I didn't know that it was a literal thing. First you were dead into your transgressions, but now you are alive in Christ. I didn't know. I thought it was just like how you see like Christians they be falling on the floor and jibber jabbering and swearing they speak in false tongues, real tongues, just really false tongues, because tongues in the Bible actually only shows up as everybody understanding what they said. And then the other version, like people being able to translate languages, are people being able to translate languages that nobody spoke, right? So it's like, or other languages that they never spoke before. It was never we need a person standing, like there's no account. You know it's not true because there's no, everything that the Bible talks about, there's an example in the Bible in some kind of story about what the actual text or verse meant, right? So nowhere do you see somebody standing there speaking tongues and another person in any story in the Bible saying or interpreting those tongues for them so the masses sees it. You see people speaking tongues and everybody else, when they're speaking tongues, understanding them in their native languages, right? So understanding them in their native languages. So it's like we don't have an example of that. We have a demonstration. We have an example of, actually even in the Old Testament, of the Israelites believing in a God that was not just one, but he had many different persons, right? He had many different persons. This is actually an archaeological discovery. The Israelites, the Israel of the Old Testament didn't believe like how Israel of the New Testament believes, right? Like, or the nowadays, I said New Testament, but the nowadays Israel, they didn't believe the same, right? There's actually many different attributes of God that they thought were separate from God, but are attribute of God because he was just that great, like Lady Wisdom, right? His power or his strength or his might, right? And they describe these as individual concepts of God that are solely attached to him, and they only come about from him, right? It's a lot of stuff. But let me get off, y'all. I gotta get off. I'm sorry. I'm just I apologize. I apologize. I may be on later. I'll catch y'all later, okay? Alright. One. Oh, sorry. Later. Mod Wars out. I'm rambling. It's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna make books, I promise. I'm gonna make books, content, all kind of stuff. There's a lot of knowledge out there that people just don't talk about. I love talking about what I call the uncomfortable conversation because nobody talks about it. And then because nobody talks about it, nobody has knowledge of it. So when it's brought up, everybody like freaks and tries to save face and then acts out against it. And then it makes it even worse because the knowledge is already lost and they're trying to fight the knowledge being resurfaced. So because they just simply because they're trying to save face, they don't know no better, right? And it's like there's no reason for you to be trying to save a face that we didn't. Nobody ever thought you were the smartest person in the room. Half the people in here probably thought you were the dumbest, right? Nobody thought that you got to be this perfect saving face person and you got to have all of the knowledge and the wisdom. It makes you look more intelligent by admitting that you were wrong than trying to save face and then everybody knowing that you are wrong, right? You're trying to save face about how you right and then everybody knowing that you are wrong. At this point, all you got to do is Google it at the drop of a dime, right? So, okay, just catch you another time. Yeah, I'll catch you later, Foxy Roxy. What's up, Night Rider? Welcome back, bro. Mod Wars out.